Andrew McCART, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast, and I'm delighted as always to be joined by Liam Smith, who's sitting there with a Costa. If you follow me on Instagram, you know I love a Costa, man.
Yeah, nothing better, mate. Nothing beats a Costa.
Exactly, mate. Just off camera there, you've just finished playing golf, and I've just realised that you're a better golfer than me as well. So, better boxer, better golfer. I'm sick, Liam.
Yeah, no, we don't mind playing golf, especially especially in some of our downtime. Me and Callum like to play a bit of golf, so it's enjoyable. Passes a bit of time, keeps you off the fridge, doesn't it? So
yeah,
it's not a bad sport.
That's your retirement right there. A couple of years left, you can play golf for the rest of your days. Wow, let's just talk about the recent news of late. Obviously, you signed with Boxer on Sky Sports, and then there's a lot of chat about you fighting Chris Eubank Jr. But before we talk about Chris Eubank Jr., let's talk about signing with Boxer, signing with Sky Sports. Why Boxer and why Sky Sports?
You know what, and I was just in a bit of I was in a good position. It was an awkward position to be in because obviously I didn't want to upset anyone. I'm not going to say I didn't, want to leave Matchroom. I had a very, very good relationship with everybody at Matchroom, but I was at the end of, not the end of a contract basically, but that was all I had. I'd had me 2-fight deal with Eddie, and then I had a lot of offers on the table, and the Sky platform and the Boxer deal just made sense a little bit more, and obviously the conversations and the fights that were mentioned to me, I just thought, position I'm in now, I'll have a little bit of that. So it was a hard decision to make, to be honest with you, personally, but it was one that once I've done it and once I knew what way my head was going, I'm excited now and I'm looking forward to getting going.
That's what was going to be my next question. Everything was amicable about leaving Eddie Hearn. There was no animosity or how long it took you to get big fights and all the rest of it. Everything was all amicable on the release. Yeah,
well, that's what I'm saying. It's a bit of a tricky situation. I haven't left Eddie because I've never been, and everything. Eddie done it. He offered me when I sat and spoke with Eddie, he offered me a 3-fight deal. We had them 3 fights. Then he didn't really give me nothing. I had to take a fight in Russia. Then he offered me a 2-fight deal, but obviously he wanted the Fowler fight, and based on beat Fowler, he'll give me the Vargas fight what I wanted. If I lost the Fowler, he'd kick me out the back door. So I feel we both served our purpose. We had the Fowler fight, sold out arena. So it just swung around a little bit, and I feel I've still, I hope I've still got a good relationship with him. He still promotes me brother, and never say never in the future. I don't plan on losing and retiring anytime soon. So, never say never. It was just the end of the 2-fight deal I'd done with him, and like I say, he made another offer for another 2 fights, and Sky did the same with Boxer, and it was a hard decision to make, but I had to go with what I felt was best for me, my career, and my family, really.
Well, Liam, everyone knows I'm a boxing nut. I'm a boxing fan before I'm a boxing journalist or anything like that. I love boxing. Now, when you hear Liam Smith and Chris Eubank Jr. together, man, your 2 styles, as a boxing fan, I'm looking at them being like, that's going to be an amazing fight. Your 2 styles for me just gel perfectly from what I've seen of you. So I seen your Instagram post saying, right, Chris, what you saying to it? Can we give the fans a date or something along them lines, man? So when you hear Chris Eubank Jr.'s name alongside yours as a potential fight, how does that make you feel?
Yeah, obviously it's a fight I want to be involved in. It's a fight that got mentioned to me, made me ears prick up, and thought, well, yeah, that's a fight I want. I want the British public talking about me in a massive fight. And when you put my name, Chris Eubank Jr., you get a good reaction. So that's a fight I want to be involved in. And, that was a fight that I thought, well, sign with Boxer and Sky, that can easily be made. There's no reason why that shouldn't be made. Chris Eubank not really in a position where he's going to probably get a massive fight. He's not getting a world title fight. So, give the British fans a domestic dust-up, and I feel one with myself would be good, certainly at this stage in both our careers. I think both styles will gel very well. And I stick by what I said. It's an interesting one because I feel if he fights me the way he fought Williams, I think I beat him easy, to be honest with you. And that's where I see it being a proper fight, because I think he might start trying to box the way Roy Jones is getting him boxing, and when it's not going his way, he reverts the type and he fights, and he likes to fight, and that's what I think. I think if you ask me a question, if Chris Eubank comes to fight, you're in for a tough night, because he's fit, he's got a good chin, and you know, he can do the rounds. But it's interesting to see what style he opposite now.
See, when I mentioned his name there, like I can see a smile on your face, man. This is definitely a fight for me. It seems that is going to get you up. It's going to get you training as hard. Maybe probably give you the best training camp of your life. I know it's cliche saying this sort of stuff, but when I mentioned Chris Eubank Jr., everything you were saying, you had a smile on your face. So I guess this is a fight that you're chasing and you're wanting.
Yeah, obviously it's a fight that I think can be made now, and it's a fight I'm not going to get a world title shot next. My world titles are tied up, so are his. So I thought, well, you know, let's kind of meet in the middle and just let's fight. You know, and I just think if you put it out now on social media, we're fighting, 99, 98% of the British public will be like, I'll tune into that. That's a boss fight. That's a good fight. You'll get the odd, you know, naysayers and the haters who don't like me or don't like him will think shy fight or whatever it may be. But you know, you need to look at the reaction when it got put out that I'd signed with Boxer. When I put that post out about Eubank, the reaction it got, the comments it got, you know, the media jumped on it, and I just think it's an easy fight to make now. It's a very, very good fight to make now. So let's make it.
You mentioned there your world titles and his world titles are tied up. Now, I know you're down at light middle, super welterweight, and he's obviously hovering around that middleweight, super middleweight. I believe he's middleweight. So when you said meet in the middle, is it going to be a catch weight, or would you meet him up at middleweight?
Well, obviously, you know, I think he agreed 158 for Kelby. Why wouldn't you agree 158 for me? And it makes more sense, unless he's got that doubt about, you know, Brook was a welterweight. At the end of the day, made 147. So it comes down to 158 for Kel, but one comes down to 158 for me. Now, you know, let's fight at 158, and you know, you'll get well paid for it. You'll be in a big fight, domestic fight again, because you're not getting, you know, you're probably not going to get a bigger fight anyway. So let's fight. How do you beat
Eubank Jr. then? Obviously, the guys he's lost again is Billy Joe Saunders and George Groves, who have been world champions. You've been a world champion, so it seems like you have to be a world champion to beat this guy. So you're obviously confident, but how do you beat somebody with like Eubank Jr. because he has got Roy Jones Jr. in his corner now, teaching him new things. Now, I think I read somewhere, I saw somewhere that you're saying it's the right time to get him because he's in that transition period. So how do you beat Chris Eubank Jr.?
He is, and look, a good victory against Liam Williams, but stripped the fight down. Like, he probably lost most of the rounds he didn't drop Williams in. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit and slag him because, you know, he's a good fighter. He's earned good money through his career. He's exciting and whatever else. But in the terms of like your boxing and your boxing IQ and your Roy Jones type boxing, he's not high end. He's not in the top ends of that department. He's not very, very intelligent with his boxing IQ and stuff like that. On the flip side to it, I think he's a fit, strong, good, athletic, you know, athlete who's a tough night for anybody, to be fair. In a sense, if he comes up a fight with you, he's got a very good chin. He's fit. So he's not strong as in he's strong, but he's fit, like genetically strong, if that makes sense. And I just think like the boxing side to it, he's such lucky with whatever went on with Williams. I don't know. I was getting told he struggled like fuck with the weight. You know, you don't know that Andrade finished Williams, but at the end of the day, let's have it right. He got dropped 3 times with jabs. So it was a crazy one to watch. It was a mad one to see, but that didn't half help Eubank because he could relax and he could keep trying to do that now, and he can drop Williams with a jab. But on most of the rounds, he didn't really drop Williams. Williams probably won them. You know what I mean? So it's I think it's a good time to get him, especially now.
I've got to ask Liam, like, the last time I spoke to you on a Zoom call was a good few months ago. Now, you said that you want to be a world champion again. You want to be a 2-time world champion now. Where does a loss against Eubank Jr. put you? Because obviously, I know you're not thinking like that because you're a fighter. You do believe you can beat Eubank Jr., but where does the loss put you then? If you think about, obviously, your Jesse Vargas fight was that fight to get you them world title shots, but they're all held up. And a loss against Chris Eubank Jr. at a catchweight or middleweight, do you think you can still win a world title?
It just depends. It depends. But look, I wouldn't think, I'd never, ever think about losing. Never. And I certainly wouldn't think about losing to Chris Eubank. I don't think I lose to Chris Eubank, so I wouldn't think about that. But then, I'd have to see how I lost. But again, I don't lose to Eubank.
Can I go back a couple of months into New York with Jesse Vargas, because obviously we haven't spoke since that win. A fight that was building for 2-3 years. You managed to get the win. You got the stoppage after a lot of back and forth, especially in New York, him saying that you can't stop me, you can't do this and whatnot. So you did manage to get the stoppage. Just talk to me about that fight, the stoppage, and how elated you were to get the victory.
The trip as a whole was a top tip for me, for the people close to me. It's a whole load over with me, and just from start to finish, the fight week, the builds up, the historic arena, and the show itself was just brilliant, and I was privileged to be a part of it. And the Irish were brilliant, even the Puerto Ricans, the Serrano, the Yanks, and obviously all my lot. It was one I'll never forget. It was right up to one of my best nights. The fight was sort of how I knew it'd go. I just knew Jesse couldn't really put a dent in me, and I knew I could break him. And I said beforehand, I wasn't going to be a liar. I said I'd stop him, and I did. I felt I could stop him exactly the way I did stop him.
It was definitely a great one. We've seen how elated you were in that win. Now, again, your world titles are held up, and you mentioned that earlier in the interview. So if Chris Eubank was watching this right now, do you have a message for him?
Just, let's fight. Let's fight. If you go and make a better fight than myself, good luck to you. I always said this. I said this regarding Jesse when I was meant to fight him last time, and he went and fought Mikey Garcia. I've got no qualms about that. I won't slag you for it. You go and make a better fight than you can with me. Good luck to you. But if you can't, let's fight. It's a big fight. It sells anywhere else in Britain. People are very, very interested in it. And yourself, we sparred a lot, to be honest. Yeah, we've done a good number of rounds, and it does only gel one way, and it does gel for a good fight. So, just let's fight. I'm not going to get a world title anytime soon. So, unless they become vacant. If they become vacant, it's going to become very interesting, because I'm number 2 with the WBO and number 3 with the WBC. And Tim Zhu's 1 with the WBO and 2 with the WBC. So if they become vacant, I'll probably get a choice which route to go.
Liam, every time I mention you back there, I can see a smile on the face. I can see it's a fight you want. Now, selfishly, it's a fight I want as well, to be honest. I hope you don't mind me saying that, but it's a fight I would love to see you and Chris Eubank Jr. Like you say, Liverpool, London, it'll sell out any arena. Yeah, since that announcement, it's I'm getting stopped in the street now. I'm getting stopped. People saying to me, "Am I fighting Eubank? Am I fighting Eubank? Am I fighting Eubank?" And I'm like, hopefully, that's what I say. Hopefully, it can be done, because again, that was part of a little bit of the thought process in me going to Sky and boxer. I thought that can be easy made now. That type fight. So can a lot of others, to be honest. Yeah, it was not just I'm signing with Sky to fight Eubank. But that's a fight that can be made so simple. He's got to deal with Sky or whatever he's got, and I know Sky and Boxer work with Wasserman and whoever else is involved with Eubank. So, if you want a proper fight, let's fight. Listen, it's music to my ears. It's a fight I want to see. Now, Liam, I'll let you. I know you've had a good hard 18 rounds of golf. Then you're enjoying your coffee, and I'll let you enjoy your coffee in peace. And like always, mate, I do appreciate your time. Thank you so much, mate. And hopefully, the next time I speak to you, that Eubank Jr. fight's been signed. So. Until then, I'll speak to you soon, brother.
Dan, nice one, mate. Dan.
Cheers, Liam. Thanks, mate.
Dan, mate. Bye-bye.
Welcome, Team Everlast, to the Team Everlast Fitness app. Download the Everlast Fitness app and find your greatness within.